Hello, have you ever thought about rehabbing a property and making a lot of money? And what if you can increase the value of the property so it could sell for even more? And what if you can increase the square footage of the property so it has even more space by breaking down some walls? Or can you make it more livable and create an open floor plan just like this one? So what if we can increase the entire value of the entire neighborhood by increasing the value of the property? Folks, all of this is possible, and in this video today I'm going to show you all of this and more and give you some bonus tips such as how to find contractors, get the property ready, presentable, and rented in no time. So if that's what you're here for, stick around to learn more. So in this video, folks, we're going to show you facts and figures. We're going to break it down step by step with a sample subject property that I myself rehabbed in Rockville, Maryland. Have you ever seen Stephen Graham or any of those YouTubers actually rehab a property? They can't because they're YouTubers, they're not investors. So in this video, I'm going to go step by step through all the chapters one by one. How did I find the property? What did I do to the property? Okay, what is the current market value of the property? How much money did I make in the property? How much it is rented for? Where to find contractors? And some additional bonus tips. Folks, I have a secret sauce, and I've been doing this for a long time. This is my means of living. I'm not just doing this for YouTube. This is how I make my money. So let's start with how did I find this property? Folks, my sister owns this property. She left for Canada about 3 years ago. She got married. A few years later, she called me. She wants to rent this property. And I told her, you must rent this property because you're not getting any value out of it, such as rental income or even passive income. You know, we talked back and forth. She thought this was very laborious to do this property because it needed a lot of work. It had some electrical issues, doors, panels, paint, all kinds of stuff. And so I told her, I'm happy to fix it for you and put a rental person in there. Long story short, a few years later, she calls me again. Except this time she tells me, you were absolutely right. I should have rented this property. Would you believe how much money she would have lost by now? She probably lost at least $40,000+ by not renting that property. Now that's a lot of money, folks, that she just left on the table. So what did I do? I told my sister, I said, instead of selling the property, let's do one thing. I'm gonna buy some shares in your property, okay? She was gonna buy a new house, so I offered her some cash up front that I could lend her at the time in return for those shares of the property. She agreed to it. In return, I would also rehab the property at my own dime. And that is how I found the property, folks. The lesson learned is this, that you can also find property through friends and family. You don't always have to go to a realtor or investor or wholesaler and so on and so forth. The properties are everywhere. Someone is moving, someone needs money, and vice versa. So if you keep cash on hand, it will really benefit you sometime. So this is important, folks. How much did it actually cost to do this whole project from soup to nuts? We had to rip the carpet off. We had to change some of the appliances. The walls were broken. We had to fill the holes. We had to paint the ceiling. We had to paint the walls. In some cases, we had to also install some doors. So we also bought some doors. The place did not have any lights, so we added lights to it. So all in all, I'm gonna go in details in the next chapter, but just know it costs about $25,000 to $26,000 roughly. Now, you might ask, how did it cost so less? Well, I'll get into this because I have a secret sauce that I'm going to share with you guys in this video, folks. It costs less because of the connection that I built with wholesalers, buying things on a wholesale discount, working with contractors who've been working with me for a long time. So they give me a price break because I always go and buy the window from them or the door from them. So they give me 10, 20, 30% off on that part and labor. Next up is what did we change? Let's talk about what we changed in the property because this is very, very important, folks. You don't want to change things that don't give you any return on your investment. You don't want to rip the hardwood out if the hardwood can be sanded and stained. Why not use the existing hardwood? It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you half the price to update the existing hardwood. So here's what I updated, okay? Number one, I ripped the carpet out of the stairs. I hate carpets, folks. I absolutely hate carpets. Why do I hate carpets? They stink, they get old, they look rusty, they look dusty, they have dust mites in them, and on and on and on. So mark my words, anytime you do a property, rip all the old carpets out, folks. You're gonna love me for this advice because time and time again, I try to put new carpets in or wash the carpets and this and that, and nothing came out of it. Hardwood floors, tiles are some of the best options, folks, and they're cheap, they're not that expensive. So why not use them? So we also had to install a new fridge because the current fridge had a broken handle. And to fix the broken handle, it would have cost us $400 to $500. So I made an executive decision to forget about the fridge and then get a brand new fridge. This way they have a brand new fridge, they're happy, larger fridge, more space, and then they won't bother me for the next few years. Now here is the kicker, folks. Look at the pictures of the kitchen. This kitchen was a mess. I took down everything. I threw out everything from this kitchen except some of the appliances and the cabinets and the countertop. I threw out everything. Why? Because I wanted to see and understand how am I going to utilize this space correctly and efficiently and effectively. And that was my goal, to make the place look more commodious, to make the place look more spacious, if you know what I mean. So that's what I did. And check this out, folks. I actually cut this cabinet in half to make space for the microwave. Why? Because I wanted to save counter space. When it comes to kitchen, folks, counter space is king. You want to make sure that you save space on the counter because people want to put things. They want to put bread and milk and cutlery and this and that. You want to give them as much space as possible, especially in this tight space at this townhome. So I also did fresh coat of paint in every major area. I also did crown molding in every major area. For example, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the foyer. You want people to come in and see, wow, this place is expensive. You want to have the feeling like, wow, what is this place? I painted the door. I installed a brand new door and I painted it in beautiful shepherd green color to make it pop. Now, I'm going to show you a drone video of the property so you can see how the property looked from the outside. The mold, the broken roof, the broken shingles, the unpainted fence, and on and on and on. Everything was renovated, folks. But let's go down the list one by one. The next up is lighting. Lighting is very cheap, folks, and if you want to put a lot of lights in the house, that would be your best friend. Why? Because lighting, again, makes the place look commodious. It makes the place look spacious. Lighting is cheap. Lighting costs 10, 20, 30 bucks a pop for a recessed light, and you can install that, and the cost of installation is also 30 to 40 bucks depending on who you hire. So why not just fill up the place with lights? So when you walk in the foyer, you want people to have this feeling, wow, this place is big, it's spacious, it's roomy, it's comfortable, it's open. I can put whatever I want, wherever I want. And that's really what we're going for in this house. Now let's also look at the backyard, folks. The backyard in this property was a mess. Look at this shed in this picture. This shed was a mess. Look at the flooring. Look at the gunk on the walls. So what I did is I power washed the entire thing. I tore down the shed. Now you might say, why did you tear down the shed? Somebody might need it to store something. Well, you have to understand something. People like the illusion of space. Things need to look wider and open. Somebody can barbecue there. I painted the fences. I put some plants in there. I put some green turf in there, and on and on and on. The point is, everything must be gone. That's old. Everything new should be fresh, spacious, roomy. Living and dining area, folks, look at that living and dining area. We actually tore down the wall. There were two walls in the video that I'm showing right now. One in the entrance and one on the dining room side, which made the opening of the kitchen so small. And so by tearing down those walls, we again made it more spacious, more roomy, add some lights. People can go back and forth from the front of the house, from the foyer of the house, into the dining room and into the kitchen where most people hang out. Most people hang out in living, dining, and guess what? Kitchen. So we wanted to make sure we connect those areas. Very important. Last but not least, professionally clean the property and sanitize it. Sanitize it everywhere to make sure it's clean, it smells fresh of flowers. You can put some potpourri there if you want. But that's the feeling of the new house. Who wants to sit in an old car or an old house? Everybody wants a new house. So might as well spend a few $1,000s, maybe a few hundred extra bucks to then get the place that fresh look that everybody desires and wants. And you want that too, don't you? Again, I can't smile because of my braces. Anyway, let's move on to the next chapter. The current value of the property, and let's talk about numbers, folks. Numbers are key here. Everything that I do is based on numbers. So let's talk about numbers. So the current value of the property, folks, the current value of the property was around $350,000. But guess what I did? By updating the property, making the changes that I made, I just talked about, tearing down some of the walls that were there to open up more space between the dining room and the kitchen, cleaning up the kitchen counter space, and all, folks, I increased the value immediately of the property to be assessed value $439,800. That is a 25% more value than the previous value of the property. That's almost $89,000 cash on cash return, folks, within 3 months. Can you beat that deal? But think about it this way, right? This deal also was a 3x return on cash on cash. What does it mean? I put down $1,000 and I got $3,500 back, which was my personal investment because I invested in the rehab of the property. But we do not stop there, folks. We don't stop there. Guess what we did? We also increased the rent because now the property was bigger, better, vibrant, commodious, spacious, and all, right? It was one of the best looking properties in the neighborhood, the most spacious, with the most rooms, with the most lights, with the brand new countertops, with the brand new appliances, and on, and brand new hardwood. So on average in that neighborhood, the rents go around $2,200-$2,100, okay? Guess how much we rented this property for? I would love to see if you guys take a guess. This property was rented for $2,900. In fact, I had listed at $2,950, and I got 19 people who were interested, and I had 4 solid candidates who had offers on the table for me. And now I picked a wonderful family that's going to live there happily ever after. So all in all, this project turned out to be extremely successful, folks, and this will give us money for the rest of our life. This is passive income, folks. $2,900 a month. In fact, $700 extra per month. That's $8,400 per year of extra income compared to everybody else in the neighborhood. And if you calculate over a few years, that's $16,000 extra income again compared to everybody else who's renting in the same neighborhood. Now I bring this to you because this is very critical, folks. We just added more value, more rental income, more passive income, and all in this one deal, just by investing that $25,000. Now, the big question I get asked is, where do you find people to work on these properties and these projects? Folks, these people come through connections. Once you're in the field, you know people like myself. You go and find other people like myself who've been working with you. You find a nice guy or girl who does some of the work or construction, then they might know other people who might know other people. That's one way. There are also Facebook groups like, myoldhouse.com, where people post information about, masonry, electricians, HVAC guy, plumbing guy. I have those guys on my payroll, but I'm just telling you that you can find those people on Facebook groups as well. Angie's List is not bad, folks. Angie's List does give you a lot of different options. You may want to try Angie's List as well. Last but not least, Craigslist. If all else fails, call people on Craigslist. From Craigslist, you can also figure out who is legit, who is not. Because even if they're legit, they have a proper phone number, they have an address, they speak English, they will tell you what they have done, and they have pictures of their work. So you want to see somebody's work, what they have done before you hire them. You don't want to just hire anybody, okay? And that's how I really find my people. And there's some more tricks, but I'll tell you in a different video, okay? So my secret sauce of getting this done in 26K is this, folks. Don't ever hire a general contractor. General contractors are crap. They take up a lot of money, extra overhead, at least 25 to 30% overhead. And these general contractors will rip you off because they'll extend the project. Their goal is to extract as much money as possible. It's almost like hiring a consulting company like Accenture or Booz Allen or whomever. They will extend your contract. They will want to make sure they tell you, oh, such and such is broken. Oh, this is also broken. You should fix this and that. If you're not an experienced contractor like myself or investor like myself, then you'll buy what they're telling you. So do not hire a general contractor. Find an expert plumber, an expert electrician, an expert HVAC guy, and work with them and then negotiate with them. Build a team yourself for every project you work on. Once you do it a few times, you'll become an expert in it and you'll find the guys like that. Well, I hope you find this video useful, folks. If you did, please press like and subscribe so you can show some love for your boy AK. I love making these videos, folks. I'm sorry I have braces on, I can barely talk, but I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for myself and making sure that I teach you guys what I learned over the years. And this is a very good practical project that you guys can use as a template and do something even better, bigger than I did, okay? Also, make sure you learn from the pros, folks, people who have been doing this in their real life, not some YouTubers who are just going and doing and reading research and Googling stuff and then telling you that they are some expert realtor and so on and so forth. Investor, realtor, two different things. Please keep in mind. Okay, I always tell you guys I'm going to share a book with you that I read recently. So this book is very, very special book, and I'll tell you what this book is about. And as an entrepreneur, as an investor, you must read this book. It's called Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. Simple. Brain is very important. It's critical for us to change the brain. So how do we change the brain? If you look at Dr. Amen, he talks a lot about how to protect your brain from not just physical damage, hitting a soccer ball or hitting an accident, but also emotional stress and toxic people. Okay, imagine this toxic environment, emotional, stressful environment at work can toxify your brain, can shrink your brain cells. Eating poor diet can shrink your brain cells. Not having enough water can shrink your brain cells, and thereby making you less intelligent. So if you want to be smart and intelligent, which I know you do, you want to take care of your brain. But I have been halfway through this book and I'm very, very impressed. And also, folks, make sure that you take your vitamins, go to gym, workout like I do almost every day. Go to swimming. I've been into swimming. I learned swimming in the past 6 months thanks to my friend Jeffrey, who was also should get credit for this video because he shot the first few scenes of the video that you see when I'm walking into one of my other properties. So thank you, Jeffrey Lynn, for your help and your dedication. Thank you to Smitha, my fiance, because she also shot some of the scenes that you're seeing in this video. So this video did not come about just because of my effort, but because the people around me were so wonderful. So I want to thank you guys, and I want to see you in my next video. It's going to be most likely about what's happening with the financial institutions and the banking and how we can survive the storm that is coming our way, which is the market crash, the stock market being down, the real estate also plummeting in some cases, and the interest rates are going up and the banks are failing. Folks, this is some tough times, but as an investor, you must know how to weather the storm. And if you do, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded by capitalizing on this opportunity. This is a great opportunity for investors. So if I was you, I'd be saving some money, investing some money, and buying more assets, not liabilities. With that, I love you all. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Again, like and subscribe. Take care. Bye now.